So now we will be working with the spreadsheet model of calculating a future value model. So this you can build. Ensure that whenever you start working on a particular problem, ensure that you start from the scratch, open this spreadsheet and start working out what are your input variables that has to be given, what is the output, how it has to be presented. This is very, very important. So whenever you get a project, a small project or a small situation based problem, ensure that you start having the idea of what could be the input variables and how the variable has to be processed and what should be the output should be presented. So here we will be filling with the future value model. So we have a future value model, same thing that we have followed in the earlier series. Formulas, we will be calculating the formula with the help of the equation. Then we will be using the Excel financial functions. So in this example, we are taking the future, we have to calculate the future value. So future value, we have the formula. Future value is FV equal to PV, present value, into 1 plus R whole divided by N. So present value equal to present value into 1 plus R whole power N, right? So N is the number of years, R is your rate of interest or the discount rate. So here we keep with the same example that we have taken in the past, right? We continue with the earlier example itself, that the single cash flow. Suppose we have the present value that we have got in the earlier example. So we have 7427.58. So this is the present value that we have got in the previous lecture, right? So discount rate, we take the same discount rate, 6%. Then number of period is 5 years, we take the number of period as 5. Now here we have to determine the future value, right? So what is the future value? So first we will be referring to the cash flow over here. Place your cursor in cell B18, right? So place the cell B18 and equal to, and this is your present value, right? So we will be taking this present value over here. Refer this cell B8. So today is the value that you're going to give an input in the 0th period. So first you have to just refer this cell over here, equal to B8, right? Then enter. So this is the input that we are giving in the 0th period. So this all will remains 0 because we are not getting into annuity over here. So there is no periodical cash flow. We are only having a single cash flow. Okay, investing today, what will be the value on future date? So here ensure that we have to change the model over also here, the values that we are here. I'll be changing the, this is present value, we have to calculate the future values. So I'll be typing this as future value. In similar way, I'll be typing this also as a future value because we have to find the future value. Then with the help of the formula that we'll be calculating future value, and with the help of the financial function also we'll be calculating future value, right? So here we have just reference given to the cell. Here we'll be having only 0, so just type on 0 over here, 0 0 0 0 and 0, right? So since it is given rupees, we can since there is no formatting in that, you can also do the formatting over here. So just select the cell from B18 to G18 and go here and ensure that you put it in currency. So you find the formatting has been done. So this is the formatting part that you have to do. Next we will be calculating the formula over here, right? So we'll be calculating with this formula. Then we'll be summing up by determining the future value of the given value, right? So equal to, we'll be selecting the cell is this one, which is your single cash flow, present value of money, right? So we're selecting this cell into 1 plus, right? So 1 plus, this is your rate of return. So we'll be selecting the rate of return, which is at cell B9, and ensure that you have to lock the cell. So function F4, here the $sign before the column and $sign before the row, both is locked. So this is locked, right? Then into, close the bracket, then divided by Here you have to select the number of periods. So open the bracket. So number of periods is this one, right? This one, and you lock this one also. Function F4 you type. Then you have to subtract the each period downwise, right? So in the ascending order we have to subtract this, right? So 5 minus 0, then 5 minus 1, 5 minus 2, 5 minus 3, 5 minus 4, 5 minus 0, 5. So minus, you refer the cell B17, right? Don't lock it because it has to move from this column to this column, this column to this column, right? So one column it has to shift. So we close the bracket and press enter, right? So you'll be getting the future value of the cash flow over here. Then I copy it and drag here, shift left arrow key and paste. So I find that these are the zeros because we don't have any cash flow over here because it's a single cash flow. Now come to this future value. Here we will be doing the sum of all this one. So equal to, so that is at the end of the 5th year we will be doing, right? So today we have investing at the period at the 0th period, and what is the end of this one, right? So we'll be adding this and all equal to sum of this all these values and enter, right? So now I can just reduce this, right? So this is the thing that we are getting, the present value of this one, right? So now we calculate with the formula we have. So we can directly calculate the formula to get the future value. So equal to, the formula present value is here, present value divided by, you have to multiply it, right? So multiply 1 plus the rate of return is given here, discount rate 6%, whole divided by the number of years. Then I press enter. So you'll be getting the same value here, right? So 9940. Similar way we can calculate with the help of the financial function, that is we have to calculate the future value. So equal to FV, which is your future value, and the rate that we have to take here is the 6%. I'll select the 6%, which is at cell B9, comma, and the number of years we have is 5 years. Then there is no PMT, you put it as 0 because there is no regular cash flow, we have only the single cash flow, so it is 0 only. Then the present value which is given to us is 7427. Then you close the bracket and press enter. So now you get the value negative. So this is your value that we are getting because this is the future value. So instead of putting it negative, just mention here before the formula, you put it minus over here, right? So now you will be getting the 9940 will be your answer. So this is the typical way of calculating your, making your model a little bit better, working it out. Now instead of calculating it, you can directly go here, you can change the value. So that is where the robustly working with the models. Suppose I have the example, say suppose the single cash flow, suppose I'm going to invest say 15,000 rupees, say 15,000 rupees in bank deposit, right? So after the end of 5 year, what is the future value I'll be getting if suppose the bank rate is 6% and the number of years is 5%. If I enter, so automatically you get the value over here. So instead of messing with all the functions and variables, how you can see how the cash flow changes. So just enter the 15,000. It works like a simple calculator, right? It works like a calculator. Suppose I deposit say 30,000 rupees, right? And what is the future value I'm going to get? So you automatically can find that it's a single thing, and you have the 40,147 at the end of 5th year, which is as 6%. So you can also change the variables. These are your input variables, can be changed. Keeping here, we are keeping one variable as a constant. Okay, 3 variables has been kept as constant and 1 variable has been changed, right? So discount rate, suppose I change the discount rate to say 10%. So what is my value? It changes, right? Once again, keeping the remaining 2 variables as the constant and 1 variables to be changed. Suppose I place it as 10, say since it is 5 years, right? say I put it for 3 years also, it will work, right? So this way you can work with the models